What are your New Year's resolutions or goals for 2022? Let's have a look. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, and I thought we'd talk about New Year's goals or resolutions that many people have. You know, that week between Christmas and New Year's Eve is a good time to reflect on the last year, what you've achieved, how you've succeeded, where you failed, and maybe have some aspirations, goals, or systems that you want to put in place to improve or achieve something in the next year. So I thought it'd be fun to have a look at some of your goals, guys. And we have a look here. I put a poll up, and we had 192 votes. I only did it this morning. I'm pre-recording this, by the way, on New Year's Eve, because I'm heading down the Gold Coast for a few days. So do you have a New Year's goal? Let us know what you are in the comments. Mine is to reduce my emergency mobile food stores to lose weight. I've packed on the kilos, and it's generally been difficult this last year to stick with the carnivore or keto diet because of having a pregnant wife. So sugar and carbs creep into the diet all too much. So I've already told Rachel we're just going hardcore next year. No sugar at all. Anything that has hidden sugar in the house is getting thrown out. That's it. We'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully, we'll stick to it. That's part of my system. And then I'll just implement, again, food tracking, keto logging, and everything that I've done in the past. So, 47% of the respondents said, yes, I have a goal. 43% said, no, nothing for 2022. And 10% said they will pick the most popular one in the comments here. So let's have a look. We'll go top comments, what those of you said. So, Jet Navigator, working towards as much self-sufficiency as possible and immunization against government interference. That's an admirable goal, and hopefully we will see that. I'm quite optimistic about 2022. I don't think it's going to be the doom and gloom that so many people are prophesizing. I think it gets to the point where if you consume so much of the negative news, some people, it's self-fulfilling. I see doomer YouTubers. They just absorb so much of this stuff, and it becomes their entire career. It feels like seeing what they're producing. It just doesn't make sense. So, Rye Bread. I resolved everything I am able to do to bring freedom to Australia, even if it only amounts to convincing a handful of people about its importance. Oh, that's good. Remember, we're having an election probably in May next year, so it'll be interesting to see where it all moves, where it all goes. Everyone, a lot of people are politically active for the first time, so we'll have to have a look, guys. SDB Plumbing. I always enjoy witnessing the 3,000% increase in runners the first week in January on the bush trail behind our estate. Yeah, I mean, that's it. There are many people, myself included, that want to improve our health. And one good measure is just taking a tape measure around your midsection and weighing how much extra emergency stores of food you have. You've got to think about it. If you're good at storing, that extra fat, that's an evolutionary response that has helped previous generations survive winters. So it's a useful evolutionary adaptation to living on this planet. But the problem is now food is so abundant, it's a negative. Let's all be friends. I hope to make it out the other side intact. It's going to be a mofo and a real test of character. We'll have to see. I mean, let's all be friends. Obviously, is a bit concerned about next year. I don't think it's going to be that exciting. Convincing Florian to get out there and use the recurve bow. Yes, I've still got it on the wall here. I really should get out there and use it. I've just been shooting it in the backyard, to be honest. I will. HZJ79, getting as much as possible out of the fiat financial system and becoming my own private central bank. Now, if he's talking about crypto, the concern is just Tether. They're pretty much a private central bank already, aren't they, for crypto? The amount of liquidity they provide for the crypto market, let's just say my confidence isn't in crypto mooning next year. I think there's going to be more clamping down. And I think Tether could just be a complete and utter disaster if that collapses. Because crypto, it's just nuts, guys. When it moves a lot. So we'll keep an eye on it. But I mine crypto, everyone, and I flip it to shares. I'm not keeping any wealth held in crypto. I earn it through library credits and those type of things. I just flip it to shares. I guess I'm not a moon boy in cryptocurrency. I'm a bit too skeptical of it. So Ash is saying 2022 will be survival of the fittest, so I'll be on a major health kick. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Get out there. I mean, I haven't done my bushwalk this holiday season. Mate, I've got to do that and take the kids and get out there again. Get the Fitbit going and just go for a bit of a walk. Advanced Dad, I said no plans for this year, but I've been and will continue to be looking for a house to buy. If I can find something that I think is priced reasonably. Note to self, good luck with that. Yeah, he's going to have a bit of a hard time. I was talking to a mate yesterday, and he was looking for property down in Melbourne. They were looking at stuff around 800 grand, and it all sold for like 1 and 1.2. There you go, guys. Advertise this, sold for even more. M is leaving Australia to establish a new base overseas. Side note, if you're struggling with goals, I'm currently reading the audiobook or listening to Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's awesome thus far. Okay, I'll have to have a look at that one. I'm not familiar with that one. Akeen is going, I don't know why people even bother when it's totally forgotten by the end of next year. And my suggestion is daily logging. That's one of the, I don't have it out at the moment. Bullet journaling is logging every day, getting into that habit. Rachel is doing it much better than I am. But I kind of set out my week and track my time to see how much time I'm spending on different things. This last week, I've been going on a gaming binge, guys. I've been playing good old Battlefield 1 again and just chilling because I need a holiday, to be honest. So, Steve FM is staying alive. Thanks, Team Heise. Good. We all should. I'm too busy for New Year's resolutions, according to Tom. I have a goal, not necessarily because of any 2022 resolutions. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a bit arbitrary, but it's because you've often had time to reflect. We saw in another video that I'll put out probably tomorrow about side hustles, where it's to do with people having time to reflect. That's when they make changes. And I suspect last year, in 2020, when we saw the lockdowns in the middle of the year, a lot of people had time to reflect for the first time in their life. So that's why resume writing business went to the moon. No alcohol for 2022. That's a great suggestion. You don't need alcohol. Okay, you don't need it at all. It's not good for you. All the antioxidant stuff is just bullshit. Just don't eat the things that contain the oxidants, guys. Yeah, you don't need it. Okay? Good. I mean, I rarely drink anymore. It's just wasteful carbs and sugars. So, Ryan's doing illicit activities. Moon Bears doesn't want to ban sugar. Buy a commercial juicer or something. I don't get that. I mean, when I'm talking about banning sugar, I'm talking about any sugar in any processed food. So, it's essentially going to be all carbs are going to be banned too. But it's chocolate getting into the house. That's the biggest issue. Where Rachel will get it, or Rachel's sister will get it, or I'll reward the kids with ice cream if they do a good job. So like we've had our littlest one, she did potty training and went to the toilet by herself yesterday. So I rewarded her. In the past, it would have been a bowl of ice cream for her. Now she got to stay up later, which is probably annoying Rachel now because she's got a tired kid, but she was really excited to stay out like the big kids. So, get out of debt and budgeting better from Steve. Now, that's fantastic. That is a real admirable goal right there. And, I mean, I've done video after video looking at different ways to pay down debt. And fantastic. Do it. Good work, Steve. Here, George is find a YouTuber whose predictions on the housing market were true. That is a good goal. I'd love to see it. Because here's the thing, guys. Don't trust any predictions from anyone about the market. Don't trust anything from anyone on YouTube. Seriously. If someone's predicting where anything's going, the housing market. I mean, come on. Seriously. I mean, this is the thing. People make financial decisions on this. I've spoken to people who sold up their houses, bought a whole bunch of silver, and lived in garages because they thought the market was going to crash. And, I mean, I thought all the stuff we were reading, we saw the property was going down. The RBA is modelling this, and this. But now you've got to see how much the government intervenes. I think that's what we can be assured of government intervention and a culture here in Australia that's just obsessing about housing. So we'll have to see. Even if we see a 20% fall in housing, it's not going to make any difference to people who can't afford to get in now. Not to surrender. And Nebulous wants to read more books. Hike more, draw more, learn more. Create a full dome documentaries for my local planetarium. Now that's really interesting. Where's your local planetarium? Is it here in Brisbane? I took the kids there once, and they were a bit too young because they nearly fell asleep. It's very, very relaxing there at the planetarium. So guys, this is it. Goals for next year. 47. Most of you have goals. Some don't, and some will pick the best ones from the comments. Now, I'd recommend a book that you should all read if you haven't yet. This is from Scott Adams. How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. The kind of the story of my life. And there he doesn't talk about setting goals. He talks about implementing systems. So I want to lose weight and get healthier again, or lose the excess kilos. So I'll be implementing systems to achieve that. Daily habits. And a big part of that is logging analog and not via digital methods as a point of difference this year. Check out this book if you haven't read it, guys. I recommend it. It's a great book. If you want to support the channel, you can use the affiliate link down below as well for Amazon. Otherwise, I'm sure you can get it secondhand somewhere cheap these days. But if you're like me, I prefer the Kindle, even though it's digital, just because I can take so many books with me everywhere, guys. So let us know what your suggestions or goals are for 2022. Everyone, again, have a happy new year, and I will see you all at the next episode of Heise Says. And for a video recommendation, what one should I recommend to you? I'll just have a look here. And you know what? I'll just leave it up to YouTube to pick. Take care.